a Beekman. Had my last elders meeting last night too, so that was interesting.
Oh yeah, you quit. Why'd you quit?
I didn't quit. Who said I quit?
I assume you stepped down.
No, it's not how it works. We have 6-year terms. We
Oh,
don't
you
have
can keep
lifetime sentences there, right?
You can keep going. Guys go for longer than 6 years.
They do. It was the group conscience that spoke, so
They said
it's pretty special.
They felt like
they had felt like I'd been there long enough. Yeah,
they're like 6
enough
years
of this
is too
guy.
long.
Too long.
Okay,
Wish
the book
they had
is
shorter terms.
The New Trail of Tears by Naomi Schaefer Riley, and how Washington is destroying American Indians. A much needed revelation of heartbreaking conditions on the American Indian reservations. But she starts the book with being on a reservation in Kamloops, in BC here. So I haven't read it, but the book was recommended and have her on the podcast. So I think I'll do that.
Okay.
Because I'm curious. I'm definitely curious about it.
And I just think we have so many First Nations people in our community, right? And I think there is a lot of sensitivity around there. And I hope I wasn't insensitive in our last podcast. I just feel like, hey, if you can't even talk about something, you know for sure something's wrong if you can't talk about it.
Yes.
Bingo. We know for sure we have issues if we can't talk about something,
yes.
right? So now, granted,
which most people have in their lives.
They do. Yeah.
I was talking to someone this morning, and I was like, "Do you think this person has things they've never told anybody?" Yep.
Yeah. You can often tell. I can tell just by meeting people. I can be like, okay, there's a lot of secrets bottled up inside this person. This is very problematic. Right?
And not even self-aware.
Yeah.
Which sometimes is even like, I was thinking about it this week. I was like thinking myself 4 years ago. I was definitely way less self-aware. But there's ignorance.
Do you feel like you're self-aware now?
Yeah.
Okay.
But ignorance is bliss.
Yeah, and you're a very happy person.
Well, at some degree, I was like, man, I wish I would just was unaware. And of course, that's not the answer because that caused a lot of other problems.
Yeah,
but.
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
Anyways, it was just interesting to, back to the elder thing. It was just interesting to, it felt like I would almost died or something, right? But just the idea of because it's been such a formative part of my my journey, right? And I've always been even basically. How
do you reflect on it? You're 6 years as an elder.
Always the same. Always. I wrote about it in the Elders Update. I always feel like it's just and every Christian should probably have this, but it happened really through that process of being an elder through COVID at church and just like being ground down. That's how I feel it was. I feel it was way more about my character development, and obviously there's a long ways to go, but there was just it was really special to be part of an amazing group of guys where it was like, yeah, you have to be unified. Like you just have a horrible church if the elders weren't unified, right? And I guess.
Did it ever get to your head?
No.
That happens. I mean, that like in the Reformed churches, it says they're only supposed to have, I think, 2 terms, and they're supposed to step down for the reason of, power gets people's heads.
I wouldn't even know if that's the only. I don't think that's the only reason you would step down. I think that stepping down is just super. I think it would be. You wouldn't be wise to think that, hey, there's not other men in this congregation that are fit to lead. And I think that very soon you would have that idea of, hey, these are the people that need to be there because they're there. No, like God would call. I guess similar to my journey where it's like I've never felt fit to be there. Not when I started and not when I ended, but I know that my character had changed in a positive way from the day that I stepped into the role. And I think that even just seeing the challenges of church is just a messy place, but it's going to be the people, everybody would be pretending.
A healthy church should be a messy place.
Yeah, but then boy, you need good leadership, right? And I think that by example, and I feel like for me, I think that the fear could be that very quickly you can become too legalistic. Like I think even, and I'm embarrassed to admit that, but I can become, and most people would say you're not legalistic, you're a heathen, but I feel that way. It's like, boy.
Like on what?
On anything. I just think
right away. What's an example of something you would get legalistic?
Legalistic about? Not even legalistic, but just so judgmental of someone else's sin where it's man, be careful throwing stones. And you're allowed to call a brother or sister out on their sin. Like that's not, you know what I mean? Like we should be able to have accountability, but do it gently. Don't think you're better than. And I mean, just if somebody really understood the gospel, I guess I feel like, boy, you should, no matter where you're on your spiritual walk, whether you're you should still be very gracious, knowing who we are in ourselves and where we've come from. And I think for me, even, and I'm embarrassed to admit it, but I feel like there's times where it's just like, oh, you get frustrated, or hey, isn't that not obvious? No, many people have seen me over the years and been very frustrated and been like, dude, you should be smarter than this.
Yeah.
So I feel like that was part of my journey. And I think even just the idea of like in business, or at least in most of my life, it's very much, hey, he who pays the piper calls the tune. Well, that's not how it is in church leadership. It's like, no, you have, obviously you're trying to follow the will of the Lord. Everybody's wrestling with it in their own heart.
Yeah.
You discuss it. And even if in our church, we don't vote, which is different than a lot of churches. Like everything in our church is done by consensus, right? And we don't even vote people in. So like I was talking to the guy the other day where I think they're picking a bunch of new elders.
What do you mean you don't vote? Like as in like...
Well, we
like
don't bring it before the congregation and everybody say this guy or that guy. And I mean, I agree with that model, but that's very counter to...
But the congregation can recommend people, right?
They can, yeah. So they would put forward names, but then the rest of the process is like, I don't want to say casting lots type process, but it's very much a like discernment, praying interviews, filling out stuff, kind of like it's the sifting out of, hey, is God calling these people to leaders?
Are recommended get put up.
They do one more time where, so like, if anybody had any concerns, which would be very similar to,
because you had a whole bunch of people get call on you, right? When you got put up the first time, they're like, who you guys put up? This guy dragged goats around or something.
Oh man, they didn't bring up that, but there was enough other stuff without the goat situation.
What was the goat situation again?
It's embarrassing. Oh, that's from when I was like 19 years old. Do we have to talk about it? It was 25 years ago.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe someone doesn't know.
The goat situation. I can already picture this reel. I can picture, and I mean, your editor's from the Philippines, so they have a lot of goat pictures. You never know what'll show up there in the reel. Oh dear.
Okay.
The goat was dead.
Oh,
no harm was done to the
dragging
lives.
it long enough.
No,
dead the whole
dead.
time.
It was dead from the beginning.
Actually, that reminded me one time I was with my my buddy.
Who drags dead animals around?
And
people.
We stole a sheep from somebody. And
are you sure you want to share this story?
Maybe not.
Okay,
we'll move on to infertility. Hey guys, if you enjoyed that episode and were blessed by it, would you be willing to support the show? That would help a lot in creating more content, improving the quality of the content, putting the production value, getting more guests on, and me being able to spend more time and energy towards it. So if you're interested in doing that, you can click up here and it'll take you to a support page. But you can also subscribe to the podcast by clicking over here and doing that. Thanks again for listening, and I'll catch you on the next one.